My dreams are nightmares. How can I sleep? You got the gun against me.
What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the NECA Ultimate Editions Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Sarah and John Connor. And so here we have Sarah and John Connor posing out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figures, let's actually run through their accessories really fast. We'll have a look at John Connor's accessories first, because he does come with the fewest accessories. John only comes with 2 accessories exclusive to him. He does come with a backpack which does fit around his shoulder, and then he also does come with his ATM hacking device. Not really much that he comes with. I wish we saw another pair of hands, but that's neither here nor there. Having a look at Sarah Connor, she does come with a bulk of the accessories. Sarah Connor does come with 3 different head sculpts. We do get one where she has a ponytail. We have her hair flowing down. Then we also do get one where she's wearing a cap and sunglasses. She also does come with a combat knife which she can hold in her right hand. And she also has a scabbard for it hanging around her belt. She does come with a handgun which looks really nice. We do get a shotgun with a folding stock, which she can hold in her right hand, of course. And then we also do get a machine gun in which she can hold, and it looks really nice with her. Finally, we do get the original T-800 arm, which they do break out of Skynet. So overall, we do have a decent batch of accessories here. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually move on to their details. So first off, we will have a look at John Connor. Now, taking a look at this figure, I think they did a decent job of the likeness to Edward Furlong. It's not perfect, and I think my camera's having a hard time focusing. I don't know why, but it's not a perfect likeness, but it looks good enough. I kind of don't like the expression he's making. I think a smirking expression would have been much better to the Terminator movie. That's what they really should have done with him. But overall, I think the hair is perfect. It looks just like he had the hair in Terminator 2. Again, the face is good. I just think they could have done a different expression, because I really don't like the expression where his teeth is showing and his mouth is slightly open. But overall, I think they did a pretty good job with him, and this is actually the first time I'm getting him. I know we did get John Connor last year as a Comic-Con exclusive figure, and he did come with the bike. This time it is a more scaled down release where we only get John Connor and a couple of his accessories. But they did a really good job with his appearance now. He is wearing his camouflage jacket, which does look really nice. You can see a lot of the stitch work in it. You can see the pocket right here going all the way around to the collar, and I think NECA has actually done a really good job with the camouflage paint. They could have easily just made it a dark green jacket and called it a day, but something I like about the NECA Ultimate movie figures is that they actually put the detailing in for these figures, and I think John Connor here is done exceptionally well. I do have one issue with it, and I'll get into that in a little bit. Really do like the fact he does have his watch on this arm. Now, my only issue with him, and I don't know if this bothers anybody else, but for me, I do not like the way this arm is designed. Now, you might think, well, it looks normal, and yeah, it does look normal, but your wrist isn't supposed to be this way. When you have your hand relaxed, the thinner part of the forearm is supposed to be facing the front, and as you can see right here, it's actually facing out, and his forearm is supposed to be like that. That's how it's supposed to look naturally. Now, the only problem with that is the way the hinge would work. His hinge now works this way. I'm pretty sure they designed it this way just because of the motorcycle, but seeing as how this version doesn't come with his little moped or motorbike, it does kind of draw your attention that this isn't right, and I don't know, it just looks odd to me. But moving on, I know I don't normally get into anatomy, but that's something that's driving me crazy for some reason. Moving on to his shirt, really like the black shirt, and I do like the fact that NECA went with an ab crunch and a ball joint here. I just kind of wish that this was a softer piece and the ball joint was down here. It works, it functions fine, don't get me wrong, but aesthetically speaking, you want to have that hidden where the pants would meet the jeans. Speaking of his jeans, he does have a really nice pair of jeans. NECA actually put the work in to make it like a dirty pair of jeans, like he's been wearing this all day. Really do like the wash that they use on this. It's a really good sculpt, and the paint that they went with just brings out all those little details. I think the only thing that would make the pants even better is if they actually sculpted the jean detail, which I'm pretty sure they did try it, but it's not as noticeable, and that could be chalked up to the paint that they used. But overall, it looks really nice. I do like that. Then we go on to his tennis shoes, which look really nice. The detailing on it is impressive. You can even see the little mesh parts where your foot would be able to breathe. They even added the cream soles. And of course, we do have 2 peg holes underneath his feet. So overall, John Connor here is a pretty good release. And if you missed out on the Comic-Con figure like I did, this is actually going to be a really nice figure to own. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually move on to Sarah Connor. And so now we have a look at Sarah Connor, and I think NECA again did a really good job with the sculpt on this figure. Now I do feel like the paint does kind of miss the illusion of this being Linda Hamilton. It's a really nice likeness, but I think they could have done a little bit more, seeing as how they are starting to implement the photoreal technology. I would have liked to see it on the Terminator figures. If they applied it, it's not as good as it is on other figures, and there is a figure we'll be having a look at that uses that much better. But overall, I think they did a pretty decent job of capturing Linda Hamilton's likeness from Terminator 2. You can see I have her with the ponytail right now, and I do like it, but I do feel like the ponytail is kind of fragile. Like when you switch the heads out, you want to be careful on how you grab this, because you don't want to put pressure right here, because that will break the ponytail off. You kind of have to like grab her at the side of the head and wiggle it off. But like I said, it's a really nice figure, don't get me wrong. I think my favorite one is this one. I don't know what it is about the hat and glasses that I think this is probably going to be my preferred method for Sarah Connor. Having a look at her costume here, you can see she is wearing her tactical vest, and they did a really good job sculpting this. I am impressed by the detail that NECA put into it. You can see right here the straps going up on her shoulders, going all the way around to her back. They even have little detailing that looks like nylon straps, and I do like that little detail. It's so very good, and NECA is really good at nailing that tiny detail. I just kind of wish they applied a little more paint. If they applied a little more paint over this, this would be an amazing release. Not saying that it's not amazing, I just kind of wish that they did add some paint wash to it. But you can see they did add some contrasting paint from the shiny buckles to the matte straps, and again you can really see it right here that the straps do have a lot of nice detail. All the pouches are there with little buttons sculpted on. Really like the tank top that they have on her. You can see they even textured the tank top, which is another detail that they didn't have to do, all the way down to the seam lines right here on the arm and neck parts right there. So that's really good. I love that. She, of course, has no sleeves on. We don't have anything that she has on besides this wrist strap. I forgot what this wrist strap was. Was that when she was handcuffed and it cut her wrist? I want to say that's where that's from. Having a look at her belt here, you can see it's clipped on really nicely. NECA applied that paint really cleanly. You can see the silver paint is applied delicately but precisely where it needs to go. That's something that a lot of companies do struggle with, and it does get a little bit messy going on to the back, but in the front they actually nailed it really, really good. All the way down to her scabbard here, which again, she can house the knife, which I am really happy about that. They even added detailing to the scabbard, like the little part where you would put on the belt loop. It looks really good. I do like it. Really love these tactical pants. You can see all the detail that NECA put into this figure. You can see just the line work, all the different seam lines. The pockets right here look really good. So again, lots of care went into this figure, and I am happy about that. Going all the way down to her boots, which I think the only thing that's throwing the look of this figure off is how long they made her feet. She has really long feet, but it kind of helps seeing as how they did sculpt her with heels. That does make her a little hard standing, but the longer foot does give her a longer footprint, so that standing her up isn't really that big of an issue. So overall, I think John and Sarah here are done really well, and unfortunately for mine, you can see NECA once again has one leg longer than the other. The right leg is longer than the left leg, and it does make her go off at an angle. I think I can get that fixed. If not, she's just going to have a wider stance, unfortunately. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Sarah and John compared to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have Sarah and John posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Sarah and John posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Sarah and John Connor posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally, here we have Sarah and John posed next to the Ultimate T800 and the Ultimate T1000. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to their articulation, and let's actually have a look at John's articulation first. John Connor does have a single ball joint in the head. It's a ball peg going into the head, so he can look up only to about there. He can't really look down, so we really don't get too much movement in terms of side to side, but we do get left and right movement. Really limited up and down for some reason, which is a little bit unfortunate. Arms are on ball joints. They do go out to the side pretty nicely. They go all the way around. We don't have a bicep swivel. Instead, we do have an elbow swivel as well as an elbow hinge. So that does rotate like that. We also do have a forearm swivel, and I really don't like forearm swivels. It doesn't really make sense, in all honesty. Now, he should have a wrist hinge. However, this one is completely stuck. I'm going to have to heat that up. This one does have up and down movement, which is okay, but like I said, there's something about the wrist that I can't stand. It looks bad, in my opinion, honestly. But the rest of the figure looks good. He does have an ab crunch, which does crunch forward to about there, so he does get pretty good range of movement there. He can go back about that far, and you can see inside the figure a little bit, so do be careful on how far you're using that. We do have a secondary ball joint down here, which lets him go back and forward a little bit further, so combining both those joints, we do get pretty good range. He can tilt to the side, rotates at that ball joint. Legs do kick forward to about there. They do kick back. They go out to the side. Pretty good. I do like that. We do have thigh swivel up high. Single bend in the knee, giving us 90 degrees. Really wish that he had a little bit more articulation right there. He does have a ball joint at the foot, so that goes all the way around really nicely. Goes forward, goes back, to the side, to the other side, as well as rotates. So John Connor here does have a lot of good articulation, although it could be a little bit better. Moving on to Sarah Connor, she does have a ball joint in the head, which does let her look up better than John. She can look down better than John, and we do have some pretty decent head tilt, so really do like that. Of course, does turn left and right. Just be careful with the ponytail. Again, you don't want to be messing with that, because that does seem like it can break off really, really easy. She does have ball joints in the shoulder, which do go out all the way horizontal. They go all the way around, no problem. Single bend at the elbow, giving us less than 90 degrees, unfortunately. Swivel at the elbow as well. And then we just have a swivel at the wrist, although it kind of feels like a ball joint. It really is just a swivel, unfortunately. So I believe she has, yes, she does have a mid-torso crunch, so it goes forward only about there, goes back a little bit, does rotate to the side, so that is pretty good. Then we also do have a secondary ball joint down here at her waist, and that does move to the side really nicely. Rotates, goes back, goes forward, and combining both those joints, it goes only to about there. Could be better, in all honesty. Legs do go out to the side. This leg doesn't want to go out, but she can kick out to the side. That joint is a little bit stiff. Legs do go forward a little bit. They are a little bit hindered the way they styled her crotch piece right here, so do be aware of that. And if you have the knife in the scabbard, that is going to make it a little bit harder. Legs do go back to about there. We do have a thigh swivel up high, single bend in the knee, giving us less than 90 degrees. We do have a swivel down here at the knee. No boot swivel, but we again have a ball joint at the ankle, so we do have some slight rocker ankle. Doesn't go too far forward, goes back a decent amount, and it does rotate. So overall, the articulation on them isn't great, but it's acceptable. It's going to do what you need it to do. So bringing John Connor back out here, let's actually get them pose up for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have John and Sarah Connor pose for my final thoughts, and overall I think NECA here has done an amazing job re-releasing two figures that people have been wanting for a while in a really nice two-pack. John Connor was really hard to get hold of, seeing as how he was a Comic-Con exclusive figure, and he did come with a bike, and that's one accessory that I'm kind of okay not having, because the bike really wasn't a okay, it was a big part in the movie, but it's not essential to have your Terminator collection. I think John Connor is a little bit more important than the bike. Now, as far as these two figures go, Sarah Connor is a really nice re-release. However, they didn't retool some of the issues that the original figure had, and that is the single jointed elbows that do not go 90 degrees. If they had reworked the elbows just to give her those 90 degrees, she'd hold the weapons a little bit better. Extra hands for holding the knife would have also been nice. And I do feel like having hinges or at least ball joints in the wrist would have done so much more with Sarah Connor. However, this is still a really nice set if you missed out on the original Ultimate Edition Sarah Connor and you weren't able to get the Comic-Con John Connor. This is a really nice set to own for the people who missed out. Now, if you are looking for this set, unfortunately, it is a Target exclusive. So to find this, you do have to go to Target. Now, I actually got lucky finding mine. I did see it on one of my Facebook groups that it was local, and I just happened to be in the area at the time that they posted that picture, so I was able to get my set. This set will run you about $60, so do be expecting to pay that, which is kind of reasonable, seeing as how an Ultimate Edition's NECA figure can range anywhere from $30 to $35, so $60 for two figures is actually quite fair. I do feel like they could have added a little more accessories, especially head sculpts and hands for John Connor, because as it stands, he has really tiny hands. I would have liked to see maybe some style pose hands just to give him a little bit of display options, but overall, this is still a really nice set and a must-have for any Terminator fans. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other NECA videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.